my fine feathered friends. How are you doing? It's Jake Johnson, Untethered Live. I'm back. And tonight we're going to talk about Thanksgiving and what happened afterwards. How was your Thanksgiving? I hope everybody had a great time with their families and friends. I hope everybody got full and fat and sassy and happy and flatulent and watched TV and went to sleep into a food coma and woke up the next day ready to go. That's what I did. How are you? Walter Davis, what's up, brother? Good to see you. You're first in chat, so you get the gold star. Amanda says, hi, chat. Or, hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see you all. I hope everyone had a great turkey day. I missed you. And hi, Jake. How are you tonight? Full of egg sandwich and turkey and other assorted things. Oh, yeah. Can you dig it? Yes, I can. Walter says, good evening, everybody. Amanda says, hi, Walter. Here's your star. How was your weekend? Week. How was your Thursday? How was your Thursday? I don't know where I'm at. I had a refreshing, much-needed break, and I'm back, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So I hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing good. A little full still, but hanging in there. Anyway, Walter says, hi, Jake and Amanda. What you up to, buddy? You doing all right out there in the real world? Making us all look good out there? Tonight's episode is brought to you by this hot and wonderful cup of coffee. Don't you want to have a cup of coffee with me and talk about turkeys? If so, get yourself a cup in the kitchen and let's get this party started. But if you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It has my face on it. It's fantastic. Also, like, subscribe, share, support, and join. And hit that Cash App, $ Jake Johnson Band. And also, paypal.me/Jake Johnson Band. All right. Walter says, the link to the album doesn't work. You got to click the 3 dots and then click the thing that comes after it. As far as I understand it. It should work. Let me see. Let me see if I can click it. 3 dots. Yeah, it does work. Takes me right to it. Was fixing lights on a snowplow truck today. Wow. Is it already ready for snow up there? It's getting chilly here, that's for sure. Not cold yet, but chilly. Chilly. I don't think I've ever seen a snowplow truck up close. We don't have those around here. We just put salt on the road and keep going. There probably is a snowplow truck around here somewhere. I just hadn't seen it. We only get snow like once every 3 or 4 years. And usually snows a little bit. And then once every 5 years it snows a lot. Something like that. Either way, I'm expecting a little snow this year, but I'm not exactly sure if it's going to happen or not. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, you should be able to follow that link by clicking the 3 dots. That's what I did. So, me and Amanda went to my sister's house and we had a big old turkey dinner. Had turkey and ham and collard greens and candied yams or souffle, whatever you want to call it. Apple turnovers, which apparently are called dumplings in Florida. Cold Creek Croft, hey buddy, you are here. Good to see you. He says, try a 400-mile ice. Hell yeah. Oh, hiya. And here's a link. Y'all go check out Cold Creek Croft's channel. How you doing, buddy? I was kind of worried about you last time I heard from you. Hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I live. Excellent. Linda Davis, hi, darling. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Amanda says it's got to snow this year. It's my first true snowfall. Well, it probably will. Hit the 3 dots, and it goes to report bad behavior. Something's not right about that. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It might be the phone you're on. That's the only thing I can think of because it works when I do it. Has anyone else had any trouble downloading that link or going to it? Walter says, hey, Montana. Amanda says, hi, Cole. Cole says, I live. And Linda says, hi, all. Hey, Linda. Amanda says, on the link pinned to the top of the chat, Walter. That's right. And Amanda says, hi, Linda. And Walter says, hi, Linda. And Linda says, hi, Amanda and Walter. Cole Quickcross says, I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. Oh, sorry. He says, I fought hard for the farm. Dumb, unimaginative judge. So, I had to backtrack to Helena for a while, and I managed to bring the stray cat, K2. All right. Well, I'm glad that you've got a place to go anyway. Walter says, the phone that I'm on is garbage. It's probably the phone. Probably. I don't know for sure, but I know when I click it, it works. And anybody that I've spoke to about it says, that it ain't a problem. But I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. I did it the way it's supposed to be done, so I don't know if it works or not. Amanda says, when you click the three dots at the very top, had a blue link in it, and then click the blue link. I think that works on some phones. He might be on a different kind of phone, though. Walter says, I fought the law, and sometimes I won, right? Cole says, 6-hour drive was 12 hours, lost control 5 times, and then brought a vintage 1971 jet camper. And I'm here now at Friends with mobile studio. It's great, and using it to go back. Terrorists will not win. Well, I'm with you, Cole. I support your plight, and I hope that you do well. Bill Bennett, what's up, buddy? He says, howdy, all. Happy to be with you. Happy for you to be here, buddy. How was your Thanksgiving? I hope everybody had a great turkey day with family and friends, and nobody got in political fights or anything like that. That'd be nice. You'd be happy to know that around the table I sat at, we didn't talk about politics, religion, or sports even once throughout the entire night. We stayed up for quite a few hours talking, drinking coffee and talking. We never talked about anything like that. It was pretty nice. Amanda says, hi, Bill. Cole Quickcross says, I plowed over a medium and then into a Ford Expedition. Coolest guy ever, though. Just shrugged and exchanged information like Morgan Freeman. Nice. Andy Dufresne was a friend of mine. I like Morgan Freeman. I like Morgan Freeman's voice. I don't know if I like Morgan Freeman, but I like his voice. It's pretty neat. Walter says, hey, Bill. Well, it's fantastic you guys are here. I had to take a couple of days off. I was exhausted and at the end of my rope, so I needed to rest. And I did. I've been doing absolutely nothing for like 3 or 4 days. So I'm feeling better. Recharged. My mustache is tingling once again. Cole says, I had one 35-year friend who went nuts when I merely expressed happiness with the election. He called me a total penis pod person. He called Rick a pod person, a total pod. I think he means dick. He called you a dickhead, right? Walter says, I worked on the boat engine, and it was a good day all by myself. Aw. And Linda says, Walter, his album link is at the bottom of my phone, just under the chats. I need to put it in the description, maybe. Harrison DeBose says, I just subscribed. What's up, Harrison? Thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the show. Cole says, I was indeed homeless for about 8 hours. A prick. Oh, he called you a prick. A P-Rick. I got it. Prick. Got it. Understood. I had to think about that one. And Walter says, hey, Harrison. And Amanda says, hi, Harrison. Welcome and thank you. By the way, Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from, Harrison? Where you from and what are you into? We talk about a myriad of things on this channel. It goes in all directions. But the important thing is discourse. That's what we're here for. And right now, I'm fighting back the desire to sleep more because I'm full as a tick. And you know, when you get full, you get sleepy. That's because I got some good cooking. And lots and lots of leftovers. In fact, I could probably feed a family of 4 with the leftovers. Cole says, Harrison DeBose, here's your channel. Thank you, Cole. Go by and show Harrison some love. He showed us some, so show him some too. And by the way, are you guys ready for Christmas? It's already here. People are putting up decorations. There's like lights going on right now. Christmas is upon us. Bill says, I need to add Facebook, but I'm not on it enough to be worth my while. Hi back, guys. There's something in turkey that makes you tired. Yeah, it's called tryptophan, and it's actually in the cooking of the turkey. It comes out in the dressing that you put in the turkey, and we do eat that. Yes, it makes you tired. Colin Hildebittle, what's up, buddy? He says, hey, Jake. Hey, Colin. Amanda says hi. Yeah, tryptophan will make you sleepy. It's a mild sedative. That's why everybody passes out at Thanksgiving. No, not at your house. Maybe it's called chlorophyll. Who knows? Did you enjoy the turkey? Anyway. Cold Creek Girl says, first damn traffic light in 3 years. And first sit-down dinner. There are donuts and fast food here, too. All price 40% less. This civilization is odd. Sounds odd. Walter says, Christmas decorations are going up at work, and it takes a week or two, right? It's going to be wild. It's going to be another great Christmas, I think. Amanda says, cooking all day and then eating till you can't move will make you sleepy, LOL. Yes, it will. And eating till you can't move will make you sleepy, period. And we did eat a lot. It was a good dinner. They did cook all day, too. It was delicious. Oh, macaroni and cheese and spice cake, my favorite. And also assortments of pies. I think there was the obligatory custard and egg pie. And then pecan pie. And then there was a mincemeat pie, which I'm not a fan of, but some people are. And what else did we have? Mashed potatoes and gravy. Squash casserole. That was one. There's a bunch of stuff. Bunch of food. Dinner rolls. Colin says, I was walking around Sunday and had an iron and rod people and turned through my shoe and into you had an iron rod stuck into your foot, right? And my foot muscle, so I can barely walk on it. Well, you shouldn't be stepping on things like that. Most of us call those nails, but don't step on nails, Colin. It's bad for your feet. And take care of that thing. Put some peroxide or some Neosporin or some mercurochrome or methylate on it. How old are you? Do you know what methylate is? When's the last time you put fire on an open wound? You should try it. It'll cure what ails you. That's what's wrong with the children of today. They don't know what methylate is. If they did, they wouldn't act the way they act. Am I right, Walter? Walter says last thing to go up is a 10-foot tall cross on the bucket of an excavator with the bucket all the way up. Can see it for a long way, all lit up. That sounds excellent. I think that'd be great for the town to see a cross hanging up there. Cold Creek Cross says, only casualty with the trip was K2. I could not leave her, but she got suspicious, and then was a wild 15-something chase. And she lost, but needed a blood transfusion. She was just traumatized, or it just traumatized her too much, and she bolted on arrival. Well, feral cats will do that. They don't like being caged up. They don't even like being looked at, so maybe she'll come back when she gets hungry, hopefully. P. Diddy says, come to the party. No, thank you. Welcome. Walter Davis says, yep. Colquitt Croft says, then she came back early this morning. All good now, poor thing. See, I told you she'd come back. It's like psychic. Amanda says, hey, P. Diddy, we don't do parties around here like that. Linda Davis says, my daughter made some tiramisu, and it was yummy. I have no idea what that is, but I've heard of it before. I knew the word anyway. P. Diddy says, hey, Amanda. P. Diddy. Yes, he did. Colin says, Jake, so do exorcisms actually happen? Well, that's a good question. Yes, because they're in the Bible. No to the ones the Catholics do. Walter Davis says, hey, Pete. And Ava says, ayo, what? Welcome, Ava. MJL says, length of an armpit hair in inches, please. 7.5. Your turn. Colquitt Croft says, tiramisu. I've heard of that. It's Klingon stew, I think. Maybe wrong. That'd be as good a guess as what I was going to guess. So I don't know what it is, but it sounds good. I like the name anyway. Amanda says, hi, Ava, welcome. And Walter says, hi, Ava. And MJL says, thanks about the 3 inches. All right. Rock on, MJL. That's kind of weird, but you do you, boo. Linda says, my granddaughter made the best mashed potatoes ever. She was the cutest. Aw. Walter says, hey, MJL. And MJL says, how much custard could you drink in pints? I don't like custard, so 0. Are you one of those people that just ask randomly odd questions all the time? Would you like to get to know anybody here, or are you just having fun for yourself's sake? Either way, as long as you don't get rude, I'm all right with that. Cheese sauce then. Oh, I could probably drink at least 2 or 3 tablespoons of cheese sauce. Walter says, where you from, MJL? MJL says, that's nice, thanks, you're welcome. Are you making memes? Are you going to use this footage? Because if you are, I want credit. I'm from Scotland. Well, top of the morning to you. Oh, that's Ireland, sorry. Well, welcome to Scotland. Say hello to the drinker for me. You guys all know each other, right? Colquitt Croft says, hey, at least he at least he has consent. That's right. Or at least he has content. That's right, MJL. This is your channel. Everybody go check out MJL's channel, and if you like what you see, show him some love and subscribe to his channel. Nameless says, how many guns do you own? Quite a few, Nameless. Quite a few. Walter says, MJL, nice. You have a kilt? Ah, if you're Scottish, you must have a kilt. Walter says, hi, Nameless. And welcome to the show, young newcomers. Come on in. Strike up a conversation. You might be surprised where it goes. That's a lovely cup of coffee, by the way. You should all have a cup. Have a cup of coffee on me. By the way, that link that is pinned at the top of the chat, that link is to my album. It's free. If you'd like to have a copy of it, just go download it. All you got to do is follow that link and download it or listen to it right there on the website. It's fine. It goes to a Google Drive account, so there's nothing on there but the music. couple pictures. That's it. So have fun and enjoy. The only thing I ask is if you do get this album, share it. Let somebody else hear it also. Colin says, Jake, do you have false teeth? My teeth are absolutely real. They're made out of plastic, but they're real. Why do you ask? Walter says, MJL, ever wake up with a blue ribbon and wonder where you were? You ever wake up and had a bad dream about skiing? Wake up and you were on a camping trip with two of your buddies? Linda Davis says, Nameless, that's like asking a woman her age, right? How many guns do you own? Lots of them. I own enough guns that you wouldn't want to be on the business end of them, I can tell you that. But never ask a woman how old she is or what she weighs. Unless she asks you how tall you are. Then you have carte blanche. And Bill says, I'm speechless, right? Come on, Bill. You got something to say. Walter says it was a reference to the John Denver song. All right. Which one? MJL says, or if she has real teeth, right? That's kind of a weird question to ask. Why do people talk funny when they do a ... exorcism? Because they're faking most of the time. Listen, evil spirits are absolutely a real phenomenon. There is absolutely both good and evil things pushing and prodding our society and our cultures, causing calamities and the like to occur by way of temptation. But they're not monsters behind every bush, and I don't know if they currently jump in and out of people. I know at one time one did, because it's written in the Bible. He wants false teeth or a false teeth partner, says Bill. Oh, you want somebody to take their teeth out and gum you. I see. That can be exciting. Linda says, I got it, Walter. I think it's the Scotsman. Right on. Rondio says, dude, you believe in folklore? Yeah. I believe people tell stories all the time. I'm a practitioner of folklore, as a matter of fact. It's what I do for a living, in a manner of speaking. Why? Why do you ask? If you're saying the Bible is folklore, you'd be incorrect. That's not only a bad way to look at reality, but it's also naive. And I'd be more than happy to enlighten you if you're interested. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to, because nobody else said anything about folklore, but do your thing. Walter says, Linda, I know you know the song. West Virginia. MLJ says, what's your opinion on the continued quantitative easing carried out by the Federal Reserve? Is this sustainable for the United States? Does the U.S. dollar have a future? It does not. And no, it is not. Sorry. My opinion is that they have vastly overreached their value. And I don't think there's a way back from that. And the gold standard was taken out in Nixon's administration and replaced with the petrodollar, the oil standard. So then that got renewed or got up for renewal last year. And I don't know and haven't heard what they did with it, whether they renewed it or not, or whether we're now backing the U.S. dollar with some other form of currency. I don't know yet. That's all remains to be seen. But what I do know is that money is inevitably going to run short of its value because that's just the nature of money. Nothing lasts forever, and the U.S. dollar does not have much of a future. Does it need to go back to the gold standard and be rebased? I would say that's probably a great idea. Bill says the Bible is being fulfilled as we speak, and the U.S. buck is long gone. I agree. MJL says 20% of all U.S. tax earnings now go on debt payments. Well, that's another thing. The thing about debt is you only have debt if you agree to pay it. If they just default on it, no more debt. So there's nobody going to collect. It's the U.S. government. MLJ says it is making pints of custard more expensive. Inflation will break it. Yes, it will. Among other things, the currency itself is the reason they're pushing for a paperless currency is because it's easier to manufacture, and it's easier to propagate, and it's easier to control, and it's easier to take if you don't agree with what they're doing. So that's going to happen at some point. I don't know when, but at some point we'll go paperless, and shortly after that, money will just falter altogether. And I don't know how long that time span is, but you can mark my words, it's going to happen. Walter says the dollar better get it together real fast or not a good time globally. Sadly, the dollar is the strongest currency. It is one of the few that is traded and the value is floating. Yeah, but it won't last forever. And Colin says you can't have debt if you're dead. Also true. MLJ says most quantitative easing is done digitally. I don't know exactly what that quantitative easing is, and I'm not an economist by any stretch of the imagination, but I'd say most things are done digitally these days. MJL says the portion of actual printing is tiny. Well, I can tell you for a fact that they printed quite a lot over the last 10 years. Quite a lot. Like way more than was in circulation prior to that. So, I don't know how small the actual printing is. Colin says, and isn't a microchip a mark of the beast? No. Nope, that's just somebody's idea of what it might be. The mark of the beast is the work that you choose to do. If you read the Bible, it says the mark is in your right hand or in your forehead. Well, what's in your right hand? Well, symbolically in the Bible, the right hand is symbolic of the work or the strength or the power of something. And what's between your ears, what's in your forehead is your brain. So if you believe after the way that the people are going after the beast, you have the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is the polar opposite of the seal of God, which is to understand the key of David, to understand what the Bible is actually saying. And if you have that, you can't have the mark of the beast. Because as you know, you can't serve two masters. Buy Bitcoin, says MJR. I don't think that's a smart move either. Colin says, this world is going to hell. Well, this world is definitely not a good place to be. MJL says that's a creation of dollars out of thin air. True. Making the rest worth less. Yes, that's exactly right. When they printed all that mass amounts of money, the trillions of dollars that they printed under the Biden administration, that made money a whole lot less valuable. Walter Davis says, like in the Civil War, when the government issued greenbacks instead of backed currency and bought them back after the war. Right? MJL says, is Christianity a force for good? Of course it is. MJL says, I believe almost all religions are not a force for good. Well, Christianity, as it is a religion. However, it is based on a reality, and the reality is in the Bible. If you read it, it's all there. So, Christianity is just people who choose to believe in Christ, and Christ tells you why you should believe in him. What it is, what's up, brother? He says, hello to all, giving thanks for a lot of things God has provided, and I am blessed. I'm still having to stay humbled. God helps discipline me, and still being conditioned by him as long as I follow. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be there, what it is. Walter says, MJL, correct. Most is created by financial trading and is never realized. And Amanda says, hi, what it is? Colin says, invest in stocks. Well, some stocks. My advice to you would be to find out whatever Nancy Pelosi invests in, and you invest in whatever she invests in. Walter says, hey, what it is? Good to see you. Lewis, hello from Portugal. Hello, Portugal, Lewis. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. Oh, Amanda has been a member for 8 months. She says, I'm so happy to be here with this great family. Much love. Thank you all. Thank you for all that you do, Jake Hart. Thank you, and God bless you. Thanks for continuing your membership. And by the way, if you guys want to get yourselves a J-tag like Amanda has, go hit that join button. It's worth it. It's worth every penny. I appreciate your support. Colin says, then buy stock. Right. Amanda says, hi, Lewis. Welcome. MJL says, why do you believe in Christianity and not any other religion? Because I'm intelligent and I can read. And I have read. That's why. There are many reasons why Christianity is correct. Many, many, many reasons. And there's also many, many, many reasons why the rest of them are not. Now, let me explain something to you. I'm not religious. I know. You just talked about God. That doesn't make me religious. Religion is a person or a group's opinion about something they've experienced, such as reality. So, if you have two people at a party, and both people experience vastly different parties because one person was on the party drug of choice and the other person was not, you're going to have two different versions of what happened at that party when you talk to these people. Those are religions. They build traditions based on their view of what happened, and then a religion comes from that. So that's not to say that the event that they witnessed was not real. That just means they only saw part of it, or they interpreted it the way they interpreted it. All religions are based on the same events, all of them. You just have to go back far enough and look for them, but they're there. So Christianity is right because it makes sense, and because it is simple, and because you can trace it back to its origin without any weirdness. Walter says, Colin, your profits are just on leafers. Created money until you cash out the stock. That's right. If you were born in Pakistan, you'd be Muslim. Well, yes. Except for you don't know where I was born. And also, it doesn't matter what you start out as. What matters is when you become an adult and you go to look at the world for yourself and you do your own research and you come to a conclusion that you're happy with, that you understand, and then you become whatever it is you are. I am not part of a group. The name of this channel is Untethered for a reason, because we are not part of a denominational organization. We talk about reality. We talk about things we can understand, test, and observe. That's it. So, if I was born in Pakistan, I would be Muslim until I read a book and learned who Muslims came from. And once I understood where they came from, I would understand that there was something before them, so I'd be interested in what that was. And then when I found that, that's what I would be interested in. And if I was born in Nepal, same thing. I'd be Hindu until I got a brain cell. are you not just a product of your environment? I am absolutely not a product of my environment. Why? Because I was born into a Pentecostal holiness organization. That's what my family did, and I rebelled against it wholeheartedly. It wasn't until I was in my early 20s that I actually decided which path I was going to take. Has nothing to do with what I was born into. No, I'm not a product of my environment. There are a lot of people that are, though, MJL. That's not an unworthy observation. It just does not apply to me. But there are many, many people who believe what they believe and are who they are exactly because that's the environment they're in. And those are the people we're trying to educate. Amanda says, hey, everybody, like, subscribe, share, support, hit that join button. And super chats are available in the chat box if you want to show a little bit of love. I appreciate that. Also, Cash App, $ Jake Johnson Band, or PayPal, paypal.me/Jake Johnson Band. I appreciate your support very much. Happy holidays. Colin says, Jake, how do we know the earth has gone? How do we know the earth has a core if we only drilled 0.2% of Earth's crust? Well, we've drilled 8 miles. That's as far as we've drilled. And we don't. Newsflash. Scientists make a lot of stuff up and then present it as if they know what they're talking about. And then 100 years later, it gets recanted and they come up with other things because they learn more. It's just the way it is. Walter says, MJL, nope, there are many people who were born in crappy environments that changed their situations and did well in life. Yep. Mr. P, what's up, my brother? He says, hello, gang. Just letting you know that I'll be out of action for probably the next month. I got burned up really bad from oil in a stove. I got 4 skin grafts on Wednesday, surgery again on Monday. Well, Jesus, Mr. P, are you okay? I didn't know that happened. I'm sorry to hear that. God bless you and be with you, and we'll be praying for you, sir. Please take care of yourself, and let us know if there's anything you need. MJL says, thank you for answering my questions about armpit hair and the consumption of custard, the economy, and religion. You're welcome, MJL. Thank you for asking. Consider joining the channel and you may get more of that. And Amanda says, hi, Mr. P. And Colin says, and it just got too hot. That's not even 0.1% of the Earth's crust. But we do get deep to the core. It's just solid iron. Well, nobody knows that for sure because ain't nobody been down there. 8 miles, that's the limit, and that was done in Russia, and they drilled until the drill started melting, so they can't really go any further. Bill Bennett says, be honest with your family and friends and love each other, and God made us. Right on. Amanda says, oh, no, Mr. P. Prayers, man. Walter says, I'll be praying for you, Mr. P. Bill says, prayers and fast recovery, brother, Mr. P. Lord, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I know that sucks. I've been burned before, but not that bad. And what little bit I was burned, I didn't ever want to do that again. So I can imagine what you're going through, and we're here for you if you need us, honestly. Reach out if you do. Man, that's terrible. And I'm glad you're able to type anyway. Walter says, Colin, at the bottom of the ocean, that's hundreds of miles deep. How thick is the crust of the earth? Right. Well, I know for a fact it's at least in some places at least 10 miles thick. But I don't know about beyond that. It could be more. Who knows? That's the funny thing about the earth. We were never intended to go down into it, so we're not ever going to be able to. unless something comes along and cracks it open like an egg, ain't nobody ever going to see the center of the earth. Because you can't drill to it, that's for sure. Matter of fact, truth of the matter is we know more about the surface of the moon than we do the floor of the ocean. This is true. Maggie says, let me know if you think about relationships. Let me know what you think about relationships. Well, hello, Maggie. I think relationships are awesome. I'm in one myself. So what are you asking exactly? Amanda says, hi, Maggie. Let me know what you think about relationships. I missed you guys. Well, we missed you too. Where you been? And happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Walter says, maybe no one has been to the bottom, so we don't actually know. Exactly. Big Chief, I like your name. He says, do you know who won the Battle of Balaclava? Nope, I do not. I don't even know where that is. Amanda says relationships are wonderful if you're with the right person. Sometimes they're wonderful if you're with the wrong person, for a little while anyway. Walter says, hey, Maggie. And Amanda says, hi, Big Chief. Big Chief. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I like your name, buddy. Maggie says, hey, Walter. Bill Bennett says relationships are important. Not healthy to be in one alone, right? Well, you know, you can be in a man-to-hand relationship, but that only lasts for so long. Maggie says, so how do you know? How do I know what? Maggie says, I'm serious. About what? I don't understand what you're asking. How do I know what? That relationships are good to be in? Well, because if you're alone for a very long time, which I have been, it gets very monotonous, institutionalizing, actually. It'll actually change the chemistry of your brain being alone. How do you know if you're in a good one? Oh, well, that's easy. It's easy. That's how you know you're in a good relationship. Everything comes easy. There's no awkward moments. You're comfortable. You can talk. You can share ideas. You don't have to hide things or keep your personality a secret or avoid touching certain subjects because you're comfortable. That's how you know you're in a good relationship. Relationships are easy if they're right. If they're not right, they're complicated and uncomfortable. So it's really easy to know if you're with a good person. And the truth is there is no right answer because there are many people in the world, and that means that there are many people that are and are not compatible with you. So you might have your choice of good people. Pick one and see what happens. The important thing is that you try. Bill says until they're not. That's right. Walter says, hi, Big, and yes, but I'm thinking of other things and can't recall. Maggie says, good one. Right on. And Amanda says, if you can be 100% yourself, then it's the right one. Amen. Maggie says, so how do you know if you are compatible? Well, you only know that if you try. So, unfortunately, all relationships fail, except for the last one. I hope that helps. What if you're not your best? Listen, I've had this conversation on here before in some ways, but this is what you got to understand. First of all, you have got to be real with yourself. You can't lie to yourself. So go out into your bathroom and look in the mirror, get a good look, and then rate yourself 1 to 10. And don't say 10 because you're not a damn 10. Be honest. Then ask yourself a few questions. One of those being, what do I offer a person? What can I do to enhance another human being's life? What skills and qualities do I have? Am I soft? Am I pliable? Am I agreeable? Can I cook? Am I strong? Do I have character? Ask yourself all these questions about things that you know people are interested in, and then find out where you are on the scale of what you can offer somebody. Because only what you can offer somebody is what you're going to get in return. Because nobody's just going to bring it all to you, honey. You're not worth it. Neither am I. Neither is anybody else. You have to give something to get something. So if you're going to be in a relationship, which means partners, both people bringing something to the table, then you have to know what that is. And my advice to you would be that if you get in a relationship with somebody and you want to take it to the next level, before you do that, sit down with them and have the conversation and leave nothing hidden or unspoken. Talk about what you expect. Talk about who you are. Talk about what you want. Talk about what you need. Talk about what you'll give. Talk about who you are to them. And make a agreement up front. Negotiate the relationship up front. Leave nothing to the imagination. That way there is nothing to uncover later. And when you make that arrangement, when you make a negotiation and it is a profitable negotiation for the both of you, you can ride out that relationship with no problems because both of you know what to expect. That's my advice. I hope it helps. Mr. P hit me with a $10 super chat. He says, if you never take a chance on someone in a relationship, you will never know. Amen, brother. Thank you, Mr. P. I appreciate the super chat, but you didn't have to do that, especially in your condition. You need to take care of you. And Maggie says, I've done that before. Well, do it again. You did right if you did that before. And Amanda says, thank you, woohoo, Mr. P. Maggie says, well, what I think I'm more than he'll give. What if you think you are offering more than he'll give? Well, then you're not in a good relationship, are you? That's the answer to your own question. If you think you're doing more than he's doing, then he isn't meeting your standards. So you need to go find somebody who does meet your standards, but your standards shouldn't be too high. But that being said, he's always right. Well, that's not a bad quality. Do you want somebody that's wrong half the time? I don't understand what you mean by that. People have said that about me too. Would you rather me be incorrect? Would you rather me be unsure? Would you rather me be cagey and confused about the world I live in? Or do you want somebody with a little confidence that knows what the hell they're talking about? I don't understand. He doesn't listen to reason. Well, what reason are we talking about? Bill Bennett says, don't waste any time on fakes or lies. Right on. Yeah, if somebody's lying to you and you catch them in a lie, cut it off right then and there. A liar ain't worth having. What do you mean he doesn't listen to reason? You've said two things that you haven't backed up. One, he thinks he's always right, or he is always right, however you put it. And two, he doesn't listen to reason, but by whose standards? Or what are we talking about exactly? I can't give you a good amount of advice unless I know what I'm talking about. So I'm only hearing one side of the story. So see if you can describe it a little better, and I'll try to give you some good advice on it. And Bill says, we listen for wisdom. I know and like your judgment and outlook on life. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I try to give wisdom. I try not to say things that are incorrect on this channel. Not that I don't. I always make mistakes. So does everyone else. But I try very hard. He acts like my opinion doesn't matter. Well, that's not good. Your opinion does matter about anything. Well, that's not good. It sounds to me, just based on what I'm hearing, and I don't know the guy you're talking about, but it sounds to me like you got a narcissist who just wants to do things his way all the time, and that's not good either. You got to be able to give and take on both sides. A man should put your needs paramount. That's his job. But your job is to put his needs paramount. If both of you do that, You're in good hands. If he's not meeting your needs, you need to figure out why. And if he thinks your opinion doesn't matter, one of two things are happening. Either he thinks he knows better or he's not listening. Bill says, supposed to be an equal. Don't waste your time. Life is too short. Happy wife, happy life. I agree with that. He's always right. Well, again, you keep saying that, but what does that mean exactly? Is he right? Because if he's right, then what are you complaining about? If he thinks he's right but isn't, that's a problem. And Linda says, amen. Thank you. If he's always right, that means you're wrong. If he thinks he's right but is not right, then that means you have a problem, because this guy thinks he knows something he doesn't know. I don't know how to read that exactly. If you are in a relationship, you should have every right to say what you feel, and he should consider your opinions and thoughts and desires before making decisions. But, and I'm going to say this as gingerly as I can say it, and I want you to hear me for what I'm trying to say and not for what the world would have you think of me for saying it. There should be a leader in a relationship. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians, never gets anything done. You need to either lead or follow or get out of the way. It's all right for a woman to wear the pants in the family. There's some families that work that way. But if it's not that kind of family, then you need to let him lead if he's the leader. That being said, you should never follow a moron. If he's not worth following, you shouldn't follow his lead. If he's leading you to a good place, then you should absolutely follow his lead. Or lead him. Either way. Walter says, I am seldom right, but I try real hard to be correct. Right on. So I've made a huge mistake. I don't know enough about your relationship to tell you that. I'm not here to validate what you think. I'm here to give you my honest opinion about the question you posed to me. So if I knew more about the guy, I could tell you whether you made a mistake or not. But I don't know anything about the other party. So all I've got to go on is your side of it. And based on what you've told me, it sounds kind of mistake-ish. Yes. Maggie says, yes, I agree. And Walter says, a leader should not give a damn what anyone else says. True. Bill says, wisdom, you're an old wise soul. Reminds me of an old friend and family. Well, I am a friend and family. And thank you for that. Bill says, get out, woman. You deserve better. Right on. Margie says, AKA. Also known as. Linda says, Walter, you can't be a leader if you have nobody to lead. Mark Gibby says, mustache is looking good, Jake. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. How you doing, Mark? Long time no see, buddy. And Maggie says, yep. Amanda says, hi, Mark. Walter says, Linda, I've been a party of one most of my life. Aw. Well, it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. You got to have simpatico connections, because if you don't, you dry up like a prune. Trust me, I know. It's so hard, says Maggie. Life can be hard, Maggie. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy. Mark says, I've been here, still in Western North Carolina, fixing roads. Pray for them. It's not over yet for those people. I know. Yeah, they got a lot lot going on there in that part of North Carolina where the flood hit, the hurricane and all that. Yeah, those people got screwed. And a lot of bad things happened there that should not have happened. Thanks to certain denominations of the government, they made some pretty poor decisions about that, FEMA and whatnot. And I pray for those people. My daughter was almost one of those people. She was going to college over there in that area. Thank God she came home just before the storms hit. And God bless you, Mark, for being out there helping those people. They need it. All right. You guys want to hear a song real quick? Here you go. This is just for you guys.
Moonlit skies and fireworks, people laugh, people flirt all night long. But I just stare. So I drove down to the local bar where people come in their fancy cars and play their games. But I just stare. Then I saw you sitting there, all alone in that empty chair right next to you. I fell in love, oh baby. Boy, I hope you understand that I'm not a girl that needs a man. I got my life and all my plans, and if you were there, you'd just be in my way. And girl, it ain't gotta be like this. I'd give you everything but just one kiss. I don't care what you say, I fell in love with you anyway. Oh, Elizabeth, you take my breath away. At that bar where we first met, you smiled at me and my palms got wet, and you just looked away.
Oh, yeah.
But I just stared. You said, been in love and it never works. I always end up getting hurt, and I ain't doing that no more. There ain't no way. Oh no, 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 no. You stood up to say goodbye, grabbed your hand with a tear in my eye, and I just walked away. But you just stayed.
Yeah.
But you looked down and you took my hand and said, boy, I hope you understand that I'm not a girl that needs a just one kiss, and I don't care what you say. I fell in love with you anyway. Oh, Elizabeth, you take my breath away.
That is an original song of mine. It's on that album that's pinned at the top of the chat. If you guys would like to own it, just go download it. It's free. The only thing I ask in return is that you share the music with somebody else. Get it out there. Let people hear it. That's all. And that's an original song that I wrote, and I hope you enjoyed it. It goes like that. Mark Gibby says, play it, brother. And Amanda says, oh, yeah, Elizabeth. Mark says, yep, talking about the people in North Carolina. They have had it rough. It's been getting testy. People are scared that the government are going to take their land. It would not surprise me at all, Mark. They did that. They tried that in Hawaii, too, when that big fire went through there. That was kind of an on-purpose, accidental kind of thing also. We're going to have to wait and see what shakes out about all that. Bill says it'll take years to fix. And thank you for your work, and thanks to all the truckers and people making it happen. Amen to that, and God bless anybody who contributes to that particular problem, because those people desperately need your help. Linda says, Walter, you have not been alone for 28 years. I've been here. Oh, burn, snap. Watch it, boy. Mark says, thanks, Bill. And Amanda says, I'd give you everything with just one kiss. I fell in love with you anyway. Oh, know the words to the song. Mark says, my white Luther Vandross. Me? Oh, thank you. My old ass loved Luther. Big ass ham. I like Luther Vandross too. Walter says, sometimes I think I should have been born 300 years ago and been a trapper, just alone in the frontier. Alone except for a few days a year to sell the furs. That's a horrible existence. Why would anybody want to live like that? If I had my way about it, I would have been born 10 years prior to when I was born, because then I'd be famous, because I was cut from the same cloth of the guys that got famous 10 years before I was born. I was just too late. And Amanda says, oh, no. That's her favorite part of the song, and I don't know why. But I'm glad. I'll take it. Mark says, got that soul. Soul, brother. I got something. I don't know what it is. It might just be indigestion, but thank you for noticing. Mark says, me too, Walter. And Amanda says, it's love making music. Yeah. Yes, it is. Makes me want to grab my wife. See y'all later. Tell your wife we love her and enjoy. By the way, if you guys hadn't been to the new Facebook page, that's facebook.com/UntetheredLiveFamily, all one word, Untethered Live Family. Go check it out. It's a great place to keep up with each other off the chat and off of the show, and, communicate and get to know one another, and also keep up with all things Untethered Live Universe right there on facebook.com/UntetheredLiveFamily. Go check it out. You won't regret it. I guarantee it. I learned that from another pitch man. What do you think? Amanda says, LOL, right, Mark? Would it be weird to make love to your own music? I don't know if it'd be weird as it would be a little narcissistic. I'm down. Mark says, heck no, Amanda. Amanda says, glad you agree, Mark. Right on. Yeah, I don't know what that would feel like. That'd be kind of strange. Like, listen to, oh, that's me. Sorry, I've lost it. I don't know what happened. Would you really want pictures of the studio dancing around in my head during that period of time? Because that's what I'd be thinking about, because that's what happened when I made that song. Mark says, LOL. Or I could just look at myself in the mirror and have at it. It's just a thought, says Amanda. I hear you. I don't know. I've never been in that situation, so I could not honestly answer that question. Mark says, enjoy y'all's night. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Mark. God bless you, and you keep up the good work, too. Thanks for being here. It won't be long. I'm going to be turning in myself. I just wanted to make contact with everybody because I was off a couple of days, and I wanted to let you know that I hadn't forgot about you and that I love you, and that I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Walter says, Amanda, it makes me wonder about Aerosmith's song, Big 10-Inch, the song about their 33 LP. Makes me wonder about their song, Dude Looks Like a Lady. I mean, come on. Right, Walter, says Amanda. And good night, Mark. Linda Davis says, good night, Mark. Here goes some hearts for you. Walter says, right, Jake? I always wondered about that. Some weirdness going on with Aerosmith, I'm telling you. It didn't seem like it at the time, but when you look back on the 80s, there's a lot of gay in the 80s. Walter says, good night, Mark. And if you don't believe that, go back as an adult human man and watch Magnum P.I. reruns, and you tell me what you see. A lot of. Some weirdness going on there. Just look at Magnum P.I.'s friends. I promise it'll be hard to miss. But in the 80s, I guess it felt that way. Didn't seem weird at all. Maggie says, no, I don't agree. You don't agree what? You got to be more specific, Maggie. I don't know what you're talking about. Rachel Floyd, hi. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a good turkey day. Amanda says, hi, Rachel. And Linda says, hi, Rachel. How are you, dear? Well, I hope. You don't agree that there was a lot of gay in Magnum P.I.? Well, you need to go back and watch it. Well, you're not an adult male, so you wouldn't see it probably. But trust me, it's there. I know because I went back and watched it, and I can tell you there's some weirdness going on there between Rick and TC. There's a lot of not gay stuff in Magnum P.I. too, but there's a lot of gay stuff in there. Just track how Rick dresses, and you tell me that he's on the up and up. Rachel says, it was cool, I guess. I spent 2 days at a casino, so y'all can decipher how I am, LOL. Well. I hope you won something. And Maggie says, he's a player. Yeah. For the other team. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Go back and look at some of the metal bands from the 80s. I.E. Poison, Motley Crue, Twisted Sister. Need I go on? Linda says, I know, Maggie. Jake keeps raging on my Magnum. I still think Tom Selleck's the cat's meow. I agree, but then again, those shorty shorts tell a different story. Tom is hot, says Maggie. I understand. I have a mustache. I know a thing or two about Tom Selleck. Is he the pitcher or the receiver, says Amanda. Oh. Walter says the same wardrobe in Magnum and Boogie Nights. Right, exactly. I'm just saying it was a little odd. That's all I'm saying. And it seems like there were some things that we were missing in context in those days. Because as an adult now, I can look back on my childhood even, and some of the stuff I was wearing that seemed cool at the time. I remember how I thought about it. Does not seem cool now. I would call dead in it, but, you know. A lot of dudes wearing makeup in those days. Long, poofed out hair. And I'm a guy with long hair, so, you know. Same shorts Richard Simmons wore, I'm just saying. Right? Same shorts. And Linda says, those shorts, you can still tell what religion he is, right? They're pretty tight. Oh, the mustache, yes. You got it. And you don't look gay. I'm not gay. There was just one time, but I was young and I needed the money. I'm just kidding. No, I'm very comfortable with who I am. But I also don't wear those shorty shorts like Magnum P.I. does. And if I did, it might be a little different. You know what they call those shorts, by the way, if you go try to buy them? They're called panties. Just so you know. Ranger panties. Maggie says, I like and love it. I bet. Amanda says, then we could tell what religion you were, Jake. LOL. Right. Rachel says, I'm sure Amanda can confirm that Jake is not gay. Right. Nope, they're not. Yes, they are. Ranger panties. Yes, they are. They may be called something else in other places, but I assure you, those shorty shorts are Ranger panties. Linda Davis says, I bet if you were the same age as Walter and I, you would have been wearing those shorts. Well, I ain't far from it. I did grow up in the 70s. So, definitely didn't. I mean, those shorts were around when I was young. I didn't wear them, though. But they were there. Amanda says, exactly, Rachel. He's definitely not gay. I'm definitely not. We'll be needing to see live with you wearing them. Ha ha! Yes. If I ever wear those shorts, I promise to film it so that you can see it. But that ain't going to happen. That I know of. I mean, I might get a wild hair one of these days and do it just for the fun of it. But Linda says, Walter's friend Mike still wears cutoff shorts. That short. Right? Like the blue jeans where they just cut them off. Yeah. That was a thing in the 80s. I did wear those. Walter says, in the spring, we used to cut off our ripped jeans, too. Shorts and wear them until the tighty whities were showing. Oh, well, I didn't go that far, but they cut them off at the knees. I wore those. Amanda says, we could always put you in spandex, Jake. Well, when I was that age, I wore spandex. I remember those days well, and I thought it was the coolest thing to wear spandex. However, I couldn't see me. And now, if I were to wear spandex, that would be very revealing. Monkey Juice, what's up? He says, too much information. I hear you. Welcome, Monkey Juice. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, sir. Amanda says, hi, Monkey. Monkey Juice. That's where AIDS come from, by the way. I'm just kidding. Medical misinformation. Stop the presses. Amanda says, oh, I read that one. Linda says, we have 8 to 9 years on you. True. I'm turning 50 next month, so. You too, Jake and all, says Monkey Juice. Thank you, sir. Happy Thanksgiving. And Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday and Happy New Year's and Valentine's Day. Yep, I'm not quite as old as I could be, but I lived a lot in those days, so I think I made up for it. I definitely remember, like in gym class and things like that, though, a lot of kids wore those shorts with the little split in the side. Who? Not me. I think I need to put that link on a robot, like the Stream Elements thing that pops up every so often. I think that'd probably work better than pinning it at the top of the chat. It'd make it easier for people to find anyway. I'll probably do that at some point. All right, it's getting close to that time, so won't you guys do me a favor while we're sitting here chit-chatting? Hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications when we'll be online. Smash that like button. It's free. It's effortless. It's right in front of you, and it really does help the channel with the algorithms, and it helps us get recommended to other people. Won't you do that, please? Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform me, drink my Kool-Aid. Make your own Kool-Aid as long as you're thinking critical. That's what I want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And hey, if you like what you hear tonight and you want to be part of something special and you'd like to help out and contribute to the channel or anything like that, consider super chatting or, hit that Cash App, $ Jake Johnson Band. Or if you're a PayPal user, paypal.me/Jake Johnson Band. Every little bit helps. It is a win-win, and I greatly, greatly appreciate the support. Also, God notices these things, so it helps you too. I'll do everything in my power to be worthy of that support, as I always do. I'll answer all of your questions and comments. I'll read everything you put out unless it's rude, and I'll be a general practitioner of good repertoire. You do that and come hang out with me right now. Also, there's merchandise in the description below if you're interested in that sort of thing. I'm not, but you might be. Amanda says, good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for some politics right here on Untethered Live. That's right. Tomorrow night, politics, which goes in wild, diverse directions. You never know what's going to be talked about on politics. It's a good show. Come check it out if you're into that kind of thing. And if you want to talk about that sort of thing, that's the place. And it doesn't just cover politics. We talk about all kinds of pop culture things. So come check it out. We also have 2 chill streams, that's Wednesday and Friday, and 2 Bible studies, that's Sunday and Monday. So that's 5 shows a week for your entertainment that I'm here doing this. It's lovely. Linda says, can you sing us something before you go? Yeah. Can you bring me that guitar in there, that black one? What would you like to hear? I absolutely will try to sing you something. Thank you, dear. What you want to hear? You want something fast, something slow, or something half-assed? I got to turn my thingy off. Hang on. Thingy's already off. I'm sorry. You've been listening to me breathe all night. I apologize about that. You know what I like. The old great ones. Level Ground, says Walter. Level Ground? I don't know if I know that song. But I do know old great songs. Can you hear that all right? I got a woman way across town. She's good to me. Oh, yeah. I got a woman way across town. She's good to me. Oh, she's my baby. She's my life and all around. I got a woman way across town. she's good to me. Oh, I got a woman way across town. I'm just kidding. Should have been a cowboy. Should have learned to rope and ride. Wearing my 6-shooter and riding my pony on a cattle drive. Stealing a young girl's heart. Just like Gene and Roy, singing those campfire songs. Oh, I should have been a cowboy. How about that? All right, let's see. Let's get serious here. I like old Toby Keith, but it's a little new for me. You have a wonderful woman by your side, Jake. You, Amanda. Don't tell my other girlfriend that. I'm just kidding. Walter says, I used to sing that to the kids at bedtime. Aw. I used to sing Merle Haggard to my children. I'd sing them. Think about a lullaby. Think about a lullaby. Baby, close your eyes, don't cry. Think about a lullaby. Think about a lullaby. Think about a cloud in the sky. Think about you and I. You can count your little sheep, but baby got to go to sleep. There's no place for your mom and I. Think about a lullaby. Think about a lullaby. Baby, close your eyes, don't cry. Think about a lullaby. I used to do that song for my kids all the time. Anyway, it goes both ways, Amanda dear, says Linda. Jake is great to me too. I skipped a couple. Hang on. Good old boys. I can do that one. Amanda says, oh, thanks, Linda. I tried. Jake's great to me too. Walter says, sang Merle and Waylon. Got it. And Linda says it goes both ways, Amanda dear. And it definitely does, says Amanda. Yes. I'm just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm. Beat all you ever saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day I was born. Straighten the curve, yeah. Lightning the head. Someday the mountain might get 'em, but the law never will. Have been making my way. Yeah, well, that's just a little bit more than the law will allow. There you go. I'm just a good old boy. You know my mama loved me, but she can't understand to keep a showing my hands and not my face on TV. Yeah. Straighten the curve. Come on now. Lightning the head. Someday the mountain might get 'em, but the law never will. I'm making my way, the only way I know how. Yeah, but that's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Yeah! I like that song. That's fun. There's a plane flying out of here tonight. Destination New Orleans. Boss man says my big promotion's on the line, and I'm right where I need to be. Lately I've been on the road more than I've been home, and this leaving her alone is killing me. And holding her right now has got me thinking more and more that I'm right where I need to be. Where when I hear her, I can see her, I can smell her sweet perfume. I can feel her skin against me when I'm deep. Where I won't miss her, I can kiss her anytime that I want to. Yeah, that's right where I need to be. Yeah, that's right where I need to be. There you go, a little bit of that. Can't do too much. They'll get me every time. Brings back memories, says Monkey Juice. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It does for me, too. Linda says, Walter, you have to get the Monty out of your driveway. You got to get the Monty out of my driveway so you can get back to your roots. I don't know what that means. Amanda says, generally. That's right. Walter says, Linda, yeah, I do. That car is good for the soul. That was probably the most wanted car on the tri-state for a few years. Right on. Your guitar looks great without all the fingerprints on it. Well, that's because I have a guitar polisher now. But you missed a knob right there. You need to polish my knob. Deep cut there. Linda says, thank you. You're welcome, Linda. Well, I'm lying here with Linda on my mind. That's an old song. I did it wrong, but yeah. Lying here on my mind. I can't remember how it goes. Anyway. Conway, yeah. There's a lot of ways of saying what I want to say to you. There's songs and poems and promises and dreams that might come true. But I won't talk of moonlit stars. I turned my microphone off, didn't I? I wish a buck was still silver, and a joint was a bad place to be. It was back before for good. The Gambler. On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, met up with the Gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns staring at the window at the darkness. Boredom overcome him, and he began to speak. He said, son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. And if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, boy, I'll give you my advice. Something like that. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough to count them when the deal is done. There you go. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow night, 8:30, right here. Politics. Don't be late. Have a great night. God bless you all. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the great song requests. I hope you enjoyed every moment of it. Linda says, thank you, Jake. You got it. Amanda says, I got your knob. No, I got your knob. How about that? Walter says, do you know the gambler? Just did it for you. Linda says, Walter, I can still hear you singing this to the kids. If only in my head. Aw. Amanda says, this girl likes to cook. That's right. That was Tommy's favorite song, says Walter. Did he turn around and lock the door? Could you hear a pin drop? Amanda says, see y'all tomorrow. Walter says, good night, Jake. God bless and thanks. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. God bless you. Have a great night. I enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed yourself too. I can't wait till we can have another cup of coffee together and talk about all kinds of weirdness in the world. Until then, thank you for watching.